Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Yes! I feel like I've been waiting for this my entire life.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Jolly good fun. Jolly good.
Locking down the middle of the day.
America's favorite daytime fun show.
Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Sounds like my friends with young kids are exiting the parade festivities down there in the 504. I know there are various different places celebrating today. New Roads has a great family-friendly parade over there. I know a lot of folks down well south of I-10 are celebrating and will be into the afternoon and evening hours. But as of this evening, Mardi Gras will be in the rearview mirror. If you're out on the route right now or headed home from a route right now, we appreciate you hanging with us. Maybe you're like us and you're just working. I told my buddies, like a lot of them went out in New Orleans earlier today, and I was like, God, I mean, not to play into the cliche, but it's kind of just Tuesday here. Like, the sales team's not here, but I wrote my story at 8 o'clock this morning. I wrote another one at noon. I did my show today. I got trivia this evening. I don't have a lot. I'm wearing purple and green, if that counts for anything, but not a lot of Mardi Gras festivities here. I kind of left that in the rearview mirror on Sunday. But thank you all for being with us here. We'll get things moving here in hour number 2. I want to talk about Mason Braun in 15 minutes because I thought we had a great conversation with him last night, and we'll briefly touch on LSU and Texas this evening later on in the hour. But one of the bigger storylines of the first 4 days of LSU baseball season has absolutely been Gavin Guidry. I spent some time on it in the show open today, and we're going to spend some more time on it today because I think it's a fascinating deal. Guidry has dominated through 2 outings. He's got 10 strikeouts and no walks in 4 1/3 innings. He's only allowed 1 hit in 4 1/3. He's got his fastball back up to 92, 93 miles an hour, sitting closer to 92. He's got a couple different breaking balls. The changeup looks really good, and he's got that same trademark competitiveness that he's always had. And the road for Gavin Guidry to get here is really, really wild. Because I think a lot of people may not immediately remember that this was the Louisiana Player of the Year in high school who came in as a shortstop from Barb. He was a shortstop. And I was excited to see him. And I went out there in the fall and watched him play shortstop, and he could play shortstop. He could not hit. He did not hit. I mean, I watched him at bat after bat because I was thinking this guy's state player of the year, Barb, like those guys, like he's going to be a really good LSU shortstop. And he didn't hit. And unbeknownst to me and most of the LSU fan base and those covering the team, Jay Johnson called him around Christmas time of that first year and said, hey, like, we've got Jordan Thompson here. I think we need to get your arm moving a little bit. See what we can do. And if you remember, like pretty early on, they tossed him out there in an insignificant game. And then all of a sudden, LSU's playing South Carolina and Ole Miss in these critical moments. And freshman, former shortstop Gavin Guidry is out there trying to close games. And he did. And you all know he threw the last pitch of the College World Series. But, like, it was a long journey to get to that point. And he pitched again as a sophomore, and he had a good year. I mean, his effort in the Chapel Hill Regional got LSU to that Game 7. I mean, he was nails, and he was going through. That North Carolina lineup was no joke, man. Gallon Gallagher and Parks Harbor, and then, of course, you had the stud first-round pick that everybody was terrified of. His name's escaping me right now. It may come to me as I'm talking about this. You remember it in the Bayou Ford chat. Tell me, big right-handed hitter that's a freak athlete who about hit one into the trees off Guidry, and then Guidry made the pitch to get him out. And he was great as a pitcher. And then the thought was, entering last season, like, they're going to stretch him out, and he might have a chance to start. And I watched him stretch out in the fall And I watched him stretch out preseason. Musso, Senemi, Vance, Honeycutt. That's the one. So Guidry was in line to potentially be a starter. And the first weekend came and went, and Guidry didn't pitch. And I said, okay, that makes sense. They're going to start him in the first midweek game. And I think they thought about it, but it was hurting. And here's where we detour a little bit here, based on last night's conversation. I don't care how coaches handle injuries in the media. I don't care at all. You can tell me, Paul Mainieri tells you what the injury is, what the procedure is called to fix it, what doctor's doing it, what time of day the surgery is, what the recovery is when he's coming back. He tells you everything. That's fine. Les Miles, not telling you squat. That's fine too. Ed Ogeron was kind of in the middle, maybe, maybe not. Matt McMahon, pretty transparent when he can be. And Jay Johnson hides some stuff. He does, and I'm fine with it. I don't care. I don't have the right to know as a fan. I don't. It's kids, injuries. If you think there's a competitive disadvantage for disclosing injuries, fine. But we didn't really get why Jay Johnson was dragging this Gavin Guidry thing out last year, because we just couldn't get any answers. And I just kind of thought, oh, he's just playing coy. Listen to Gavin Guidry talk about this last night. It's a unique situation because it's not one that you can directly parallel to anybody else. But Jay Johnson wasn't making stuff up last year. He was confused. Gavin Guidry was confused. It left us confused. This is how it played out in Gavin's head.
I mean, you know as much as I know, to be completely honest with you. It was the weirdest thing that I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. Because even whenever I was hurt during the season, there'd be some days where, like, I would wake up and I was like, okay, like, we're starting to kind of get some things going. We're starting to figure it out. Like, I'm going to pitch this year. And then, like, 3 days later, it would be just like, I can't sleep because I'm in so much pain. And it was just a complete, like, everything that y'all went through, from coach telling y'all he's going to pitch, he's not going to pitch, he's going to pitch, he's not going to, is the exact same thing that I experienced. Like, I know y'all are probably getting really upset with him because y'all thought that he was just leading y'all on. But the day-to-day just, I'm going to be good and then I'm not going to be good, I was dealing with the exact same thing. So it was the weirdest thing I've ever had to deal with in my whole life, for sure.
And it wore on him. And he talked about it last night. And we met with him. We can't play 10 minutes worth of sound on the show, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll relay kind of what we heard from him. And it's that mentally it hurt. It was so draining on him. And then they decided what was wrong, and they had the procedure, right, to fix his back. And then the doctors told Jay Johnson, like, hey, there's going to be a point where you don't think he's ever coming back. And it will. Just wait. And Jay Johnson said he got to that point. And we had heard Jay Johnson say that previously. But what Gavin told us last night is, I had a conversation with my parents, like, if this baseball thing doesn't work out, like, here's what we need to do. He was ready to quit playing baseball because he didn't know that his back would respond to doing it. And then finally, it went away. The procedure helped. The recovery happened. The rehabilitation was hard, but he got through it. And I've told y'all many times, like, we watched him in the fall dominate. And we watched him in the preseason dominate. And then you've seen him through 2 outings dominate. And I'm fully aware of the teams he's dominating. Though I do think that Milwaukee and Kent State will be good teams, maybe very good teams in their conference. They would be probably 15th of a 16 SEC, right? Like, I think they're probably on Missouri's level, maybe better than Missouri. But beyond that, not competitive with a lot of the other teams. And South Carolina may be in that category, if we're being frank. But point being, this is not an SEC level group of competition. I know that. But Guidry's arsenal, I think, is going to play in the bullpen. And I think that he throws hard enough to mix in those multiple breaking balls. And when you see the spin coming out of his hand, you don't know if it's that big hammer or that shorter, tighter one. But it's coming, and it's just hard to square up. And they haven't through more than 4 innings. And you know he's going to be competitive. And one thing you know about Gavin Guidry, he's going to throw strikes. And that's just valuable. So Jay Johnson is really, really comfortable with Guidry right now. He earned his first save last night. There will be more to come. I told you in my preseason projections, I thought 4 guys would have multiple saves. I feel pretty good about that. I think Guidry. I think Sheeran. I think right now, potentially Cooper Williams. I think Zach Cowan. I think Grant Fontenot. Like, I think there are different options to go get those multiple saves. But Guidry's going to be one. And the thing that you're seeing with Jay Johnson here, and that you saw last year with Cowan, and you saw last year with Evans, and you saw 2 years ago with Herring, is that sometimes he's going to stretch these guys out and go get a 2 2.2 inning save. You saw 2 1/3 inning last night from Guidry. That's going to sit you down for the next day. So you got to have 3 guys ready to do that if you're going to extend. And right now they've got the guys to do it. So I just thought a great story from Gavin Guidry. I didn't know that Gavin Guidry was telling his parents, like, if this baseball thing doesn't work out, what are we going to do? And I didn't know that nobody knew what the injury was last year. And I didn't know that Jay Johnson was kind of like, I think he's going to pitch next week, but we'll see. And that sounded weird to me, but they thought he might pitch the next week. And he told you, like, sometimes on Thursday, feels good. Wake up Saturday, can't get out of bed. Like, that's tough on a college kid. And Guidry said he's at the best spot he's been from a weight perspective. He told us the first thing last night, he was in the best shape with his body he's ever been in his entire life. And it's showing right now. Incredible stuff that we've seen from him in the early going, and I think a really, really incredible story. Now, that's one story. We heard another story last night, which is why the press conferences lasted so long. Mason Braun had some really interesting things to say about his journey as well, including something he didn't tell his parents about. We'll talk about that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing. LifetimeRoofingLA.com is that website. LifetimeRoofingLA.com. As of January 1st, they're so fired up to offer you a lifetime workmanship warranty. That warranty, of course, covers the workmanship, but also the materials, which are backed by CertainTeed, one of the oldest, most trusted names in building materials. Look, if you need a new roof, call Lifetime Roofing LA. If you don't know if you need a new roof, have them come inspect it. If you need a new roof, they'll tell you. And they'll help you work with your carrier. They'll help you with financing options, whether that's a deductible or the whole roof. And if you just need a tune-up to fortify that roof as storm season approaches, they'll do that. They're not here just to slap that new roof on and take the biggest paycheck they can grab. They're part of this community. They've been here for a long time. They will be here for a long time. They've got a growing and incredible team and a great facility right there off College Drive. And they're here for the long haul. So if you're looking for a new roof or a roof repair, Lifetime Roofing can do that for you. Financing options, 0% for 18 months. And, of course, that lifetime workmanship warranty. It's Lifetime Roofing. You can find them online at lifetimeroofingla.com. Lifetimeroofingla.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
So, continuing on from story time from the press conferences last night, LSU beat Kent State, and we got a chance to chat with Gavin Guidry and Mason Braun, and both interviews went an extended amount of time because we started talking about the past, and I just found it to be fascinating. Mason Braun, I had never spoken with before, and he came to postgame last night. I will tell you this, not that it's significant, this is just my observation. On the field, he doesn't look big on the field. In person, like, he's a big kid. He is a big kid. He doesn't look like Jared Jones. He doesn't look like Matt Clark. But he's well put together, and it makes a lot of sense why he hits with the power that he does. But Braun's story is an interesting one, and it's one, again, I can't play 10 minutes of sound, but I can talk you through my impressions of kind of the things that he had to say. And first of all, he committed to Virginia Tech out of South Bend, Indiana, as a freshman, and always wanted to play college baseball, and told us last night that LSU was his dream school, but that he thought that dream wasn't attainable. He's like, well, he said, you look at this place, they got 8 national championships. Like, how about some more realistic dreams? So he commits to Virginia Tech, okay, and keeps hitting, keeps playing. And then Jay Johnson said that Jay went to the area code games in San Diego. Top 250 juniors to be in the country go to this showcase, and they play some games, and you see all the elite pitchers and all the elite hitters, and Mason Braun was there. And Mason Braun was hitting a ton of line drives. And then Jay said, he's like, okay, that guy stands out. Also, he's currently not 6'4", which is not good for a college player because pro guys like 6'4". He plays first base and left field, which are the non-premium positions. Another demerit to the MLB draft guys. This is a guy that's going to play college baseball because he's not a shortstop. He's not a catcher. He's not a center fielder. He's not 6'5". He's got college traits. So he really pursued Mason Braun hard, but all the time, Mason Braun was being aggressively pursued by Tony Vitello at Tennessee and Kevin O'Sullivan at Florida, and Jay was saying, this guy's important. We got to get this guy. And what I didn't know is that Mason Braun had family that lived in Louisiana at a certain point. His stepmom's sister, or something along those lines, lived in Louisiana for a couple years on a job, and he had come down to visit multiple occasions and had been to LSU baseball games before. So you got a little bit of history there. And all of a sudden, it comes down time to make a commitment. He flips from Virginia Tech to LSU. But then you got to get through the draft. And Jay was sweating in July this year. He just was. The draft coming through was a big, big deal. And they got crushed in the draft. Like, their signing class just got picked apart. But Braun was a guy that he talked to in the night before the draft started, and they felt like they had a good plan, felt like they had a good chance to get him through the draft, and they did. So he comes down to Baton Rouge, and he just hit like crazy. And he was the best hitter on the team in the preseason. Not in the entirety of the fall. Aaron Beatty led the team in average for the fall, but he was good in the fall, and he was great preseason. So the question is, like, can you crack into the starting lineup? There's not a lot of places to crack into the starting lineup. You're not taking Stanfield's job. You're not taking Curiel's job. You're not taking Jake Brown's job. And Zach York, if you hadn't seen, pretty good hitter. So at this point, like, Braun, who grew up playing high school outfield and has played a little bit of first base, he told us last night, he's like, yeah, first base is on all the internet stuff, but, like, I've been an outfielder my whole life, and I'll play wherever they need me to. But there's not really anywhere else for him to go besides DH. And then you figure he's probably not going to DH against lefties. Well, game one, Milwaukee's throwing a left-handed pitcher, right? So he figures he's not going to play. Well, Jay calls him the night before the game, says, hey, you're playing. You're in the DH spot, opening day, even against the lefter, you're in there. And so Braun was thrilled. He said he was so fired up that something you worked so hard for kind of comes true. And so the natural inclination to me, when you get that phone call, would be, hey, call up the family. Tell them, I know, because they came down from South Bend to go to the game on Friday, on opening day. And Mason's starting as a true freshman. He said he didn't tell them. He did not tell them he was in the lineup. He's like, yeah, I just wanted them to have the moment. So, like, he doesn't tell his family. They show up at the box. Bill Franquez's PA voice comes through. Starting lineups, DH, Mason Braun. He said his stepmom was crying, like the whole deal. There's no way I would have been able to hold that in for, I mean, I'm just guessing here, probably told him about 7 o'clock that night, 8 o'clock that night. So you're talking about 16 hours that you just got to not tell him?
Hunt, if you ask me, that's one of the most boss things that anybody could ever do. They should have had like a secret cam on his family in the crowd, like just to get that initial reaction hearing his name getting called out in the starting lineup.
Didn't tell him. But obviously a huge moment for him to come down and do that. And the vibes that I got from him last night were, one, he's just very young. He popped in the interview room, and to set the scene, it's a pretty small room. It looks like if there's a really rich person who had a home theater that was a little bit too big, that's kind of what it looks like. There's probably 25 seats in this room, and it's stadium seating down, and then they sit in front of us. There's like 12 of us in there, maybe 6 one day on a midweek game like that. Maybe you're playing Tennessee on a Friday night. There's 25, but not a lot of us kind of huddled around. And usually the players like hop in and they stand in front of the microphone and kind of wait, and then we ask them a question. They kind of go. It's kind of subdued. He walks in and he goes, "Hey everybody, hey how are y'all? I'm Mason." He was just like so bubbly and like happy, and it felt like a young player. Gavin Guidry came in after Jay, and he walked in his flip flops and said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And gave a great press conference, but. Certainly, you could tell Gavin's been around for 4 years, and this kid's been around for 4 months. And he's young in that way, but when he started talking about hitting, that part went away. And he sounded like, he's like, well, like I've faced good pitching, and you come to LSU in the fall, like everybody you see is 95, 96, so you have to get used to it. And I think he got used to it. And it was interesting, the dichotomy between for lack of a better term, like I don't think this is reaching here, the boy that walked in, and then he starts talking a little bit about hitting, and you see there's a maturation to the baseball player there. And there's going to be a match of those two things. And he's going to be a star. He's going to be a star. That swing last night, not everybody can make that swing. Not everybody, as a true freshman from the Midwest, not Florida, not Southern California or Texas, where they're playing high-level baseball all year round. He's in Indiana. You can't play baseball half the year in Indiana. For him to come down and assimilate to college baseball the way that he has, and to put some of these swings on balls that we've seen, I've seen him fly the seats in right field to the pull side. I had not seen him take the ball out, up, and away and drive it beyond the foul pole fair like he did last night. He's got some special hitter's tools. And as I mentioned there at the front, he's just a little bit bigger than he looks on TV or than he looks at practice from the 23rd row that I'm looking at. Like he's a little bit bigger. And it makes sense because he hits the ball out of the ballpark as well as he does. But the last thing I'll tell you on Mason Braun, and this is something that I've heard from so many LSU baseball players over the last 4 years. It's amazing. They asked, okay, so can you play the outfield? He's like, oh, I play outfield my whole life. Like, I can do that. And he's played a lot of first. And then he said, but I'll just do whatever they need. If it's catcher, I'll learn how to put the gear on, and I'll go back there and do it. And there's so many LSU baseball players that Jay Johnson has brought into this machine that have taken that kind of approach. From old players like Cade Beloso and Gavin Dugas, to old players like Chase Shores last year, to brand new young players like Mason Braun this year that are like, whatever you need, I'm here to do it. You think Jake Brown needed to be platooned for last year? Did Jake Brown complain one time last year? Or did he just go out there against right-handed pitching and hit nuclear weapons? That's what he did. And now he's getting a chance to hit against everybody, and he's doing it now. The culture Jay Johnson has instilled in this program, from the freshmen who show up to the seniors who walk out the door, to the first-round pick juniors. The cohesion and the acceptance of roles on a team that's loaded and is constantly pinch hitting and constantly pinch running and constantly bringing in new pitchers and constantly pulling guys in and out of the rotation, and nobody seems to complain. I can think of one guy that from the outside I got word was not super thrilled with his role. Now, I'm not saying he's the only one, but I can think of one. He transferred in the SEC, and he still plays in the SEC. One guy that it did not appear enjoyed the role that he had, and he was hurt the whole time he was here anyway. But the buy-in from these guys, position players and pitchers, to do what is asked to go win games, and to do so willingly and in a lot of cases happily, is impressive to watch of the years I've been covering college sports. And so just cool stuff, I thought, from the press conferences last night. Go check out the press conferences online. You can find some videos of those. Two really good representatives of LSU in very, very different spots in their baseball lives. But I thought very, very enlightening stuff from those two guys. So just wanted to have some time to chat about that here on this Mardi Gras day. Let's take a time out. We'll come back and preview tonight next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC, FabryChevrolet.com, FabryChevrolet.com. Trucks. If you're looking for a new truck, whether your lease is about to be up or you feel like your truck may be on its last legs, or you just think 2026 is the year you'd like to get your first truck, well, this is a great time to do that at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado is up to $11,000 off MSRP or 1.9% APR financing. Of course, the GMC Sierra has been telling you every single day, up to $13,000 off MSRP. That is no joke. And you can get 0% APR as well. So you're talking about incredible deals at Fabry. You know you're going to get that great buying experience. You know what the Fabry family represents in this city, and they do so now at that new point in St. Francisville on Highway 61. You can find the entire inventory online at FabryChevrolet.com. That's FabryChevrolet.com.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
So I usually spend the commercial break scrolling through social media, see if anything breaks. I can't see that anything in the sports world has broken, but I did see a tweet that said, breaking, the Earth has officially completed half of its lifespan. It will end with the sun swallowing us in the future. So I think based on the math that we see here, it looks like we got about 4.5 billion years left.
Oh.
So make sure you eat your vitamins in the morning. Make sure you eat your Wheaties. Go see your primary care doctor at Ochsner.
Right.
And make sure, because you get if you're going to be around the rest of it, 4.5 billion is about what we got left.
I feel good, man. Especially I was traumatized by the movie 2012 as a 12-year-old when that movie came out. I was like, okay, end of the world coming December 12th, 2012. Like, this is it. Waited, came home from school, and I'm like, oh my God, nothing happened. So 4.5 billion years, I feel good, Hunt.
You got it.
Can you tell me this, though? In those 4.5 billion years that we have left, do you think they will be able to see a New Orleans Pelicans championship?
No, okay. I do not. I do not think so.
Damn.
I just don't like the trajectory of the team right now. So it's hard for me in those 4.5 billion to extrapolate that out. I think LSU basketball's got a chance. That's my white whale. I've got.
Hey, well, they got a chance.
I've got. That I physically watched with my own eyes and remember. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 5 LSU baseball, 3 LSU football, and 1 Cubs. I have no LSU basketball. That's my white whale that I got to get to. I think the Saints might win a couple more in the 4.5 billion.
Man. Shuck? Come on, man. Shuck and lemon?
4.5 billion years.
Come on.
Shuck. But the Pelicans, I can't share that optimism with you there.
It's good. We'll probably be the Las Vegas Rattlesnakes or something. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So 4.5 billion years left is what the Earth technically has to go. All right, let's talk about, briefly, LSU basketball tonight. They'll play Texas in Austin. It's the second leg of the Orange UT two-step that LSU is going on here. They were in Knoxville on Saturday, now in Austin. Texas is 16-9 on the season. They're 7-5 in SEC play. They've won 4 straight in the league. Also 11-3 at home on the season. On Saturday, they went to Columbia and beat Missouri by 17 points. It's a team that's very good on offense here. Offensive efficiency, 15th in the country. Points per game, they're 28th in the country. They do a great job of getting to the free throw line. They're 3rd in the nation in free throw makes per game. They don't shoot a lot of threes, 224th in the country, and they're good on the offensive glass at 12th in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage. The guy to watch here is Dalen Swain, who was the best player for Coach Miller at Xavier and now has gone over to Austin at Texas. Look, he's 6'8", 225. In SEC games, he's averaging 20.4 points per game. Listen to these shooting percentages for a 6'8" big at Texas and Dalen Swain. 37% from the three-point line, 59% on field goals, and 83% from the free throw line. That's pretty salty. At Auburn, he scored 30. At Kentucky, he scored 29. So this is a guy that LSU is going to have to deal with. I don't have a ton of confidence in that. The good news for LSU, if you're going to try to extrapolate some out here, Texas has not been great on defense. 170th in defensive efficiency. They are 115th in opposing field goal percentage. They don't block shots. 292nd in the country in blocks. If LSU is going to keep up here, it's going to have to be scoring the ball. And the good news is that Max McKinnon not listed on the availability report last night, so he should be ready to go. Jalen Reese played his best game as an LSU Tiger coming up on Saturday. He played all 40 minutes. He knocked down some shots. He only turned the ball over one time, dished out 4 assists. Matty Mann said after the game he thought he grew up. I would agree with that. And this is one of those things that's tough, right? Because in a bygone era, I could break down this team and be like, well, Robert Miller has shown some things, and Jalen Reese is coming along as a freshman point guard, and like there are some guys on this team you can build around moving forward. But as we all know, that's out the window with the portal. I can't accurately project one player to be on the team next year. Not one. I mean, when there was a coaching change the last time around here, you had one guy come back, Imani Wilkinson. That was it. So I can't do that. I can only talk about this team. This team has lost 3 games in a row. This team is an 11.5-point dog tonight. This team is going to have a very, very difficult time stopping Texas penetrating, getting to the free throw line, and scoring a bunch of points. Your only hope is to have a flamethrower from deep and to really score the ball well with McKinnon, with Sutton, with Reese playing the way he did on Saturday. However, I can't sit here and project that. It's just the way it is. I would take Texas to cover the 11.5. Wouldn't shock me if LSU hung around, but since LSU hung around for a lot of the game on Saturday against Tennessee, it feels like maybe not this time around. Maybe not. But this Texas program, I think, is on the way up. Miller is a really good coach. He's had success in multiple places, and I think he'll have success at Texas. And it paints a picture of what's possible when a coach comes in and brings some players in and gets a buy-in. They started out in a bumpy spot. They were 3-5 in the league, but since they've rattled off 4 in a row, and they're right now, I would suggest a better than 50% chance to make the NCAA tournament. 7-5, you just got to win a couple more games in the league, and you should be okay. And tonight they should. They're 11.5-point favorites over LSU. So we'll see what the Tigers can do in Austin. That game is at 8 o'clock tonight from Moody Center. We'll tell you that we are having sports trivia tonight at Court at the Table. So if you'd like to come out and win some gift cards, close your Mardi Gras in style, please do. We'll start up at 8 o'clock right when the LSU-Texas game starts. The game will be on. You can watch it if you want. If you'd rather not watch it, you don't have to. We're going to be playing sports trivia. You can win $25 gift cards, 5 of them to be exact, to Court at the Table. You can also win a 30 minutes on a pickleball court with second place. And we always have a good time. So if you're looking for something to do this evening, looking to get out of the house, maybe have a cold drink, maybe have something great to eat, watch LSU, win some gift cards, always a great time at Court at the Table on Burbanks. Hopefully you will come see us for that and sports trivia this evening. Also got to remind you about my friends over at Ochsner. Mentioned Ochsner early on there. 4.5 billion years left. That means you got to take your heart health very seriously, right? Seriously, though. February is Heart Month at Ochsner. It's a great time to focus on your overall health and your wellness. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death for men and women, but oftentimes it's preventable. You stay active with regular exercise and eat a balanced diet with fruits, veggies, whole grains, manage your stress, get enough sleep, and avoid smoking and excess alcohol. That can help. And your primary care provider is your partner in that prevention. They can help monitor your blood pressure and your cholesterol and your overall heart health. It's important to realize that regular checkups matter. So early detected and guidance can help you on track for a healthy heart. Make your heart health a priority this Heart Month. Schedule that primary care appointment at ochsner.org/brprimary. That's ochsner.org/brprimary. All right, we will step aside and close things out on a Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. They handle everything from soup to nuts. So if you're looking for a revitalization of your bathroom or a transformation of your closet, they can absolutely do it. I promise you this. Go to the website, OneBathAndClosets.com. You'll see pictures of their great work. You'll see how beautiful these customized bathrooms and closets are. And that's the promise David makes to you. He's not going to go quickly just to get the job done, take the check, and get to the next one. He takes pride in doing the job right the first time and leaving the competition behind. And that's what you're going to get from David Duvall and One Bath and Closet. He's been at it 30 years. Don't just call the handy guy down the street and say, hey, can you fix this? Here's a couple bucks. No, go with the team that's licensed, certified, insured. Go with the team that's got a master plumber on staff. Go with the team that's been at this for 3 decades. Go with One Bath and Closets. Get that free consultation. That part doesn't cost you anything. So go online to onebathandclosets.com, onebathandclosets.com.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, closing things down here on a Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Appreciate y'all being with us here. No matter where you're taking in this Mardi Gras day, might be the office, might be the parade route, might be just a day off on the couch or in the car. We appreciate you being here on this Mardi Gras day. Hope everybody is safe and happy, and we get back into a little bit of a routine starting up tomorrow. Some news, and I don't see this in Take It or Leave It, so I'm going to talk about this briefly. I'm not sure what to make of this big picture. I do know it's a huge story in the world of sports.
Oh, Lord.
So Tony Clark has been the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association for years. I don't have a strong opinion on how he's done about that, but he's had the position for a while. I would assume he's been in good standing there. He resigned today, and it really shook the baseball world. Like, whoa, this is not the time for that, because as people that follow Major League Baseball know, after this season in 2026, we are getting a work stoppage because the owners are demanding a salary cap and the players are not going to agree to it. And that clash is going to cause a strike. So this is going to be the most contentious and important CBA that has been done in multiple decades. And now the MLBPA is without its executive director and has to come up with a new one. Well, that's the story that I knew 4 hours ago. It has developed now. Jeff Passan, and I had to check, this is Jeff Passan. He's verified. He's got 1.4 million followers. This is his tweet. MLBPA executive director Tony Clark resigned after an internal investigation revealed he had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, who had been hired by the union in 2023. So that's what we got. Again, I don't know what the result is for the CBA negotiation, but the timing on this is important. And so, again, I don't know how the players feel about Tony Clark. It would stand to reason, since he's been in that position as long as he has, they like him. I also don't know what his relationship is with Rob Manfred and with the ownership. Like, I would imagine that's where there's some contention, but now all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what his relationship is or what he's done. He's gone. So, not great decision-making on his part. That's going to be between him and his family, which that should make Christmas real fun. But Players Association needs a rep to negotiate the CBA. It's going to be the biggest one since the early 90s. Wild stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a bad one, like it'd be like Playmakers or something, one of those documentaries.
I was just about to say that. I was like, one could dare say the timing of it was comedic.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually comedic timing. And then it's his sister-in-law?
Yeah, not great.
Oh, Lord, jeez.
I don't know in what way the sister-in-law. There's a couple different ways you can get to sister-in-law, but still, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not good any way you slice it. There's no good way that it could shake out.
No, there's no. I don't think there's any way you could have like titled that headline to smooth it over anyway. Oh man, I'm comedic timing to say the least.
I mean, the two that I'm doing this off the top of my head, but it's either his wife's sister, that's his sister-in-law, or his brother's wife.
I'm about to say, so Is there
It's
any
not
better?
good.
I'm about to say, is there better?
This is not good.
If you had to pick, like, is there a better one? I mean, is both are dead end streets?
It's not good.
I'm about to say. Oh man, you said Christmas. Christmas is interesting. Are they even gonna get to Christmas? I'm about to say Easter.
No, they're
I'm
not.
about to say,
Easter's going to be rough. Ash Wednesday's going to be rough.
I'm about to say, you talk about Christmas.
All right, let's play Take It or Leave It. Good. Great.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Okay, so I feel like the only story that's a good follow-up is not even in Take It or Leave It, because I was surfing the web as this was going on, so I thought you were about to break it. But so apparently IMG Academy, the football powerhouse in high school, is being fined $1.7 million for accepting fees linked to the Mexican drug cartel. So 2 students, they were caught getting not to say wiretap, but like they were caught getting tuition sent in from Mexico from a third party. So apparently that's a no-no. So IMG can find millions of dollars for accepting Mexican drug cartel money. Take it or leave it.
I mean, leave it.
Leave it alone.
It's a good day.
Can everybody just calm down? Can everybody just calm down? Let's just wake up. Let's go to work. Let's get money from appropriate places.
Mardi
Let's
Gras.
not sleep with family members. Can we just calm down a little bit?
No, man, it's Mardi Gras.
Not to mention the other stuff that's going on that's well worse than all that stuff.
Exactly. Come on, man. This is
Jeez.
perfect. So 3 years after being selected the number 4 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Anthony Richardson's time with the Colts is probably coming to an end, as has been inevitable that he's going to request a trade coming to this offseason. They're going to move forward with Daniel Jones. But as we know, Daniel Jones is coming off a torn Achilles. But teams will be asking to trade for Anthony Richardson this offseason. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. They're always desperate for quarterbacks. This guy was not good at Florida.
Wasn't.
Not a good player. Can he run fast?
Yes.
He can. Can he throw it very far?
Extremely.
He can. Is he any good at quarterback? He is not. But somebody will trade for him. I guarantee.
Hey, Hunt, I think we could be living in a universe. We're looking at the end of Matt Stafford, and the Rams give up absolutely peanuts to get Anthony Richardson, and somehow Sean McVay turns him into what he's supposed to be. I'm just saying, that could be a crash course. We could be on a crash course.
No. McVay is smarter than that.
For peanuts? Peanuts on the dollar. Okay, so coming off a dazzling postseason run that was capped off by winning the Super Bowl MVP, Seattle Seahawks are going to let Kenneth Walker walk in free agency, as they're not going to franchise tag him. They're going to focus on more, I guess you should say, key players to bring back to try and go back-to-back in the Super Bowl. So take it or leave it, letting Kenneth Walker walk.
I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it. Got to get Charbonnet back, but he was thunder and lightning there for a long time until he got hurt in the playoffs. So if you feel like you got him and you want to make that money work, it's the whole running back deal. I'll just find another one. Which is, the Saints are going to be in that situation with whether or not they want to go get a first-round pick in Jeremiah Love and prioritize the position, or feel like you can do it elsewhere. And the Seahawks obviously feel like they can get that elsewhere. We'll see what the Saints decide to do.
Yeah, I think this just shows you that this is what a smart front office does, understanding that we have more key positions that are needed. We already have, like I said, a Zach Charbonnet. Kenneth Walker's really good, but somebody else can pay him that money, and we'll just try and retool. So your boy, Tiger Woods, is not ruling out a return to professional golf as early as this year's Masters tournament in April. The 15-time major champion said Tuesday that he underwent, he said that Tuesday, he underwent a lumbar disc replacement surgery in October, also ruptured his left Achilles last March. So will Tiger Woods be back for the Masters? Take it or leave it.
I will leave it. I think Tiger played a little bit coy here. They said, are you ruling out the Masters?
Yes.
And he said no. That could mean I'm going to the Champions Dinner. Like, I'll be at the Masters. I'm not ruling that out. So he's got some wiggle room there. He's not going to be playing in the Masters. His time is done. But I am encouraged that he said he's going to play in some Champions Tour events. He's now 50. He can ride in a cart out there at times. There's some rules. I don't know those rules, but walking is the hardest thing for him.
Most definitely.
And so if he can get a cart involved on the Champions Tour, which they allow for some folks, I'm all for it. So I still like watching Tiger hit golf shots. If they're on the Champions Tour, that's not going to mean as much, but they're still there. It's the thing about golf that guys hang around a little bit longer in your conscience. And so He's not going to force it. He knows he can't come back and win the Masters on one leg without practicing. Yeah. He could do that in 2002. He can't now. It's 2026. So I think that time is done. But that's okay.
That's it for a Mardi Gras edition of Take It or Leave It.
Awesome. That's it for us here on a Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Again, appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you missed any of the show on demand, a lot of baseball talk. Talked about a couple guys we talked to last night, recapped the game, and then a little Saints talk as well, plus some LSU football with Jake Olson sticking around as a safeties coach. So if you missed any of it, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. That's it for us. Hope to see you tonight at Court to Table for Sports Trivia. Matt's going to drive you home on AFR. That's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Marucci. What a gem here in Baton Rouge. Such a gem. Go by and take a tour at Marucci. Well, why would I take a tour at Marucci, Hunt? Well, it's obvious. It's the home of the official bat of Major League Baseball. It's where they make 1,200 bats every single day. It started as a labor of love back in 2004 in a backyard shed. Now you fast forward 2 decades, and it's synonymous with some of the biggest names in the sport. And it's all right here in Baton Rouge. So if you got a youth baseball team and you want to send them out instead of practice one day to do something fun, take them over to take a tour at Marucci. Same thing goes for a youth softball team. They can grab a bat, get in the cage, take some hacks in the hitter's house. Always a great, great option over there at Marucci. Every ticket for a tour comes with a 20% discount on the Campus Tour store and in the hitter's house. So go to maruccisports.com/campus-tour and go get you a tour at Marucci. Maruccisports.com, maruccisports.com.